Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday night here on the PTP podcast. We have Nova X. What's going on? How you doing? And Dr. E. Vales. I don't know what they're talking about over there, crossing their streams and stuff, but you know how that goes. It's okay. I'm talking about pineapples. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know. Who else we got over there? That's it. Looks like that's all that's over there so far. I started a little bit early today. Hello, band mom. 6 seconds early. It should be 6 o'clock right now. Beep, 6 o'clock. There you go. Band mom is here. How are you doing? And anybody else who's lurking in the background on Twitter and X and D Live and YouTubes and all that other crap. So tonight we're not doing anything. No news. I'm glad you're doing okay, Nova X. I'm gonna try not to do any news tonight. Who's sending me crap? There goes the damn light again. Oh, too much coffee. I agree with that. I just finished my last cup of the day. We've done news all week long, and tonight we just get to do just to hang out and talk and bullshit about what you guys want to talk about, which is perfectly fine with me. Because I don't know if my brain can handle any more ridiculousness. Just one ridiculousness after another out there. Yeah, Nova X, I completely agree with you on that one. You're on one platform, but unfortunately, I have people spread everywhere, which I'm trying to consolidate everybody on Pilled. So I would hope that everybody would get over to Pilled. It's so much easier with just one chat. But it just somehow it just doesn't seem to work that way. But we'll deal with it. Breaking from the news. We're breaking from the news. I don't know. I just it's Friday night. Oh, at least 6 IQ points. It was so horrible. This week was a bad week for the country. Not for the political parties itself, but just for the country itself. It was just a bad week for us. And I'm just getting sick and tired of seeing those stupid videos of people on like TikTok and Instagram and all of these other platforms that are saying, we're ready. All we need to do is have the call. Just give us the word and we're gonna go. I'm so sick of hearing that shit. Some of the most ignorant people on the planet, man, think that they can march on the government and because of what happened this week. I just, it makes me feel sad for the state of the people in our country. I understand you think you're doing a good thing, but it just doesn't work out that way. What's up, DeKalb? How you doing? Welcome. KC Snowman. I saw that. Laura Loomer saying that James Comer was blocking subpoenas for Judge Merchan's daughter. I'm sure Casey Snowman, I'm sure that Jim Jordan is going to pen a strongly worded letter and send it off to somebody that doesn't make a difference. I'm almost positive. What's up, Squirt Brat 05? Welcome. Yeah, I don't. I'm just saying. I mean, we talked about with James Comer and Jim Jordan and Biggs and uh, all of those bombasticators that said they were going to do all this stuff and then they done nothing. They've done nothing, and it just shows that right now. It just shows that they're actively um, doing nothing and blocking stuff that should be done. You know what I mean? What's up, Spaz? How you doing? Welcome to you. So yeah, I did see that. I was reading the smart news on my phone before the show started. Um, yeah. Hello, Foxy Lady. Just bought a 6-month bronze tier subscription. Thank you so much, Foxy Lady. Appreciate that. I couldn't even. What's the heck's that name? RJS Reicherman. I don't know how to say that. Well, you're new to the show, so welcome. Thank you for being here. What's up, Q&A holes? Crazy Chuck. Look, I said it once, I'll say it again. I'll say it in the present, and I'll say it in the future. Politicians are not for the people; they're for themselves. And what we see is a direct result of that. So I'm really not surprised. Hold on, what did that say? Pete is good off the cuff. Is a good off the cuff speaker. I am a good off the cuff speaker because I have common sense. I guess. I don't know how that works, but yo, bro. Is Jewel here? Is that Jewel? Hello, Jewel. How you doing? Welcome to you. Yeah, it's just every time we see and we hear that kind of stuff pop off in the news, there was a time that we would go, "Oh my God, really? I'm so shocked." I don't think that's the case anymore. Eyes Cry Not over on the YouTube. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. I really don't think that we're shocked anymore about anything, Casey Snowman, about what's going on. You know, nobody yesterday went out and rioted and pillaged and looted and did any of that stuff. Nobody's shocked that Laura Loomer reported what she reported. Nobody's shocked that what's it, JFK Jr. RFK Jr. was on Epstein Island. Nobody's shocked about any of this stuff. Black Mamba, what's going on, Black Mamba? In here spying on me. Me and Mrs. PTP got a good laugh out of that today. Hello, Sherry Pittsburgh. How are you? That's right, Band Mom. We are unshockable. I mean, we're pretty much unshockable. You know, I mean, right. You know, the Israelis just bombed a hospital in Gaza and killed 427 children under the age of 6. Yeah, what's for lunch? I mean we're not even like, oh my God, no, that's just normal par for the course for the day, you know. 650 Rwandans were hacked with machetes today. Oh, that's pretty sad. I feel for those guys. 3,000 people were killed in a mudslide in wherever that was, Papua New Guinea. Sorry about that. You know, we have no more empathy or sympathy for anybody. Yeah, I know, but that's a big eyeball, Black Mamba. I know. What's up, Eagle Freedom? I think Laura Loomer gives you the creeps because her face looks like it got hit by a truck. And she keeps doing that thing with her hair. I just want to just smack her, you know? She always got her hair in her face, and she's always like, General Nutsack. What's going on? No, people don't care. They don't care. Yeah, you want? She just keeps doing that with her hair. I can't watch her. I'm like, stop it. And she looks like she got hit by a truck. But besides that, she's okay. 50 OD'd in San Francisco and 200 shit on them. Well, I mean, they probably looked for a place to sit, and they didn't understand that they were not alive anymore. They were unalived. That's a good yeah, melted grilled cheese. That's a pretty good thing there. Oh crap! What is this? Hold the phone. Oh my god! I done made myself some. I guess you call it like iced coffee. From concentrate. I have concentrated coffee, which is like this stuff right here. This is concentrated. It's cold brew donut shop concentrated coffee. And you pour this in a cup, and you're supposed to mix it with some water, and then you can add sweetener or whatever you want to it, or creamer, and then you mix it up. It's supposed to be like a half and half. I don't do that half and half thing. I keep forgetting the half and half thing, and I mixed it with some milk, some whole milk, and now I got kind of like heartburn because it was very, very, very strong. Whoa, what's up, Poon Slayer? Your camera is dirty or not focusing. It's not. Let me see. Let me put my hand in front of it. Hold on. How about now? That's one of the things I'm going to do this weekend, Black Mamba, is I'm going to get out the electronic wipes. I have to make a road trip to Walmart still for the light bulbs because that one been flickering all day. I need to get light bulbs, and I'm going to clean all my screens, clean my cameras, clean my microphones. I haven't done that in many months. So that's probably going to be a Saturday afternoon thing when Mrs. PTP gets off of work because she has to work Saturday. They love her so much, they gave her an extra day, or they asked her to work an extra day. What's up, Dirt Squirt? So she started to work Saturdays, or tomorrow she's starting to work Saturdays. And then after she gets off around 1:30 or so, we can go out and I can get that stuff. Hopefully, if they have a little scooter cart that I can roll around in. Otherwise, I'll sit in the car and she'll just go in and walk around. Yeah, in person, I am blurry. It's absolutely true. Although I am getting better with the walking, it's just I don't have the energy to negotiate a store as big as Walmart. Even like holding onto a shopping cart, I just don't. I'm just not there yet. I wish I could do that, but I can't. Not yet. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I do the best that I can because I hate relying on April to go into a store while I sit in the car all the time. But that's just the way that it is. So anyway, the coffee, I drink the coffee, and if I dilute it the right way, it tastes fine. Sometimes I forget to dilute it the right way, and it gives me like it gives me some agita right in my chest there. And what's kind of messed up is one of the things that I'm not supposed to take, being on the medication that I'm on, is antacids. I can't eat raw fish. I can't eat antacids. I can't eat grapefruit, citrus. I can eat like oranges, but not supposed to really eat a lot of pineapples. I guess it messes with the chemical balance. Um, hold on, what did that say? Don't be cleaning and disrupting germs while you have open holes in your body. I got to clean the screens because when I get on a rant and I start talking, you get psst, and I can see little things from where I hit the screens and stuff like that. So I got to do that stuff. Every few weeks I got to do it. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying. Spaz hit me with some cans. Thank you, brother. Nova X, I like to ride in the basket too, but I'm a little bit too big for that. I'm just a little bit too big. Hey, Sean Joe, thank you for the can. I would love to be able to ride in the basket. When I went to the doctor on Tuesday, they weigh you every time you go in there. I didn't gain or lose any weight from the last time I was there. So I'm maintaining my weight, which is a good thing. I eat a lot of salads, a lot of yogurt, a lot of things like that. It's just, I feel like for my size, as big as I am, if I lose any more weight, I'm gonna really look horrible. It's not that I don't look horrible now. It's just I just don't want to lose any more weight, or at least I'm gonna try not to. I like to maintain what I got. Thank you guys for the pills. I appreciate that. What's this? Thank you for the can. But yeah, it's unfortunate that I can't take Rolaids or something like that because one of the side effects of that stuff, it gives you heartburn, kind of like a catch-22. Do you believe we will prevail in all of this? DeKalb, I absolutely do. The country will always prevail, no matter what. Our country will always prevail. We've been through rough times before. We'll go through rough times again, and we're going through rough times now. So, thank you for the cookie. Cookies. Look back in our history, and look at all the stuff that our country has gone through politically. We're in a changing period in this country, just like we were in the 1920s, like we were in the early 1900s, I should say the 30s, the early 1900s and the 30s, after World War II, especially after 1963, Richard Nixon, that was a huge thing for this country that changed the course of political history. We're just in one of those phases right now, and our country will prevail. And nobody has to go and storm the Capitol building with machine guns and hand grenades in order for it to prevail. So, yeah, I believe we will prevail. I think we should talk about cookies. Cookies are always a good thing. What does that say? Pete, you're like heavy metal and death metal. Oh, do I like heavy metal and yeah? Well, yes, I do. I like both. Heavy metal, death metal. Um, I do. I listen to a variety of types of music, mostly everything except country music. And you know what, General Nutsack, if you like heavy metal and death metal, right here, if you make an account over on Pilled, we have a content creator called Spaz Oyeti, and Spaz has a show every Monday that's mandatory. It's called Mandatory Metal Monday, and Mr. Spaz plays all kinds of heavy metal music, and he tries to find all the newest stuff and all the classic stuff, and he likes when people get angry at him, so you can yell at him in the live stream. Uh, so you might want to make your way over to Pilled and get onto Spaz's channel there, because he's a heavy metal hairhead. He's got hair down to his butt, and a big old goatee and a big old eyeball as an icon. It's really cool. Seeing they vote bill in September to make registering for the service automatically. Does that include men and women, Sherry Pittsburgh? You're talking about registering for the selective service like I had to do when I was 18? What's up, intolerant leftist? Yeah, that's the guy. He's on YouTube, General Nutsack. I'm all for women's liberation, and women should have the same. Hello, Purple Pixie. That when women turn 18, when girls turn 18, they should be automatically registered for selective service. So if there's a war, they should be able to be drafted and treated just like men. I agree 100%. That would be something fantastical. Do I have a moderator here that can go over to YouTube and put the link for Pilled into my YouTube channel? I would greatly appreciate that, so we can get General Nutsack over to the Pilled and get him over to Spaz's channel. I gotta turn the air on. I'm freaking dying over here. I'll get you that link. Hold on. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who say, you know, and I know this is a touchy subject, but they say that, you know, there's no that men have the government doesn't control men like they control women. That's not true. It's against the law, right? It's against the law if I'm 18 years old and I don't register with the selective service, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guards, or whatever. And if there's a major war, I can go to jail because I'm not registered. That's the government controlling me, controlling my body, controlling what I'm doing. So I'll put the link over on YouTube. Oh, you're Sam Smith on YouTube? Okay. Yes. Sam Smith will be over on YouTube in a minute there to give you the link. Why are you gay? Mandatory 2-year service after high school, or when you drop out until you are 20. I got no problem with that, Nova X. But I believe that everybody should be treated equal. And if that's the way that it is, that's the way that it is. It's as simple as that. I don't know. Anyway. You know, right now there's a lot of legislation that's being held up in the Senate by Chuck Schumer because they don't want anybody to they don't want any Republican wins. You know what I mean? They don't want any Republican wins in the Senate. DeKalb donated 1,000 gold pills. 1,000. Wisdom and logic lives right here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wasn't Slick Willie a Vietnam draft dodger? Well, yeah. But it doesn't apply because he was a Democrat. It only applies to Republicans. You know, it only applies to Republicans. And John Kerry was a war hero when he wasn't, telling the United States was committing war crimes. How he ever got to the position that he did, I have no idea. I honestly don't have any idea. Now, don't get me wrong. During Vietnam, there were a lot of people, a lot of soldiers that came back and talked about the atrocities that happened in Vietnam. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? Those same atrocities happened in Korea, and they happened in World War II in Europe, and especially in the Pacific. And it happened during, every war that's ever happened. The only difference is Vietnam was the first televised war. And that's when this stuff started. So, yeah, it's horrible. And like, I don't see how he's holding any position in our government. He pretty much called our government a bunch of murderers. And he was, I don't know, what was he, Secretary of State or something like that? Now he's the climate guy or what? I don't know what the fuck he is. What's that say? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Purple Pixie. My dad was a World War II veteran. Believe it or not. My dad joined the Navy. He actually joined the Seabees when they were forming the construction battalions when he was 16. My grandfather had to write permission for him to join the Navy at 16. And he was a World War II veteran. My dad was on the ship John McStain took off from when they the Oriskany. I believe Nova X, that was the name of it, the Oriskany, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm probably wrong, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Was that I think that was the ship he was on, aircraft carrier. Eagle Freedom, you paint veterans murals on. What does that say? I paint veterans murals on buildings. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I was right. Yeah, the Oriskany. Yeah, I was right. Wow. That's not bad for the old chemo brain, huh? I can remember that, but I can't remember what a fucking tortilla is. Excuse me. What's my favorite cut of steak? Oh, wow. That's a great question, DeKalb. That is a great question. If I'm not going to say this is a cut of, well, I guess it could be a cut of steak, but prime rib to me a rare prime rib that's about 1.5 inches thick with the juice and a little bit of the mild horseradish sauce is probably one of my most favorite things in the world. Just a big honking piece of prime rib. I mean, I can say T-bones or strips, New York strips, all good. But a prime rib is probably my favorite. And one of the best prime ribs I ever had was at Binion's Horseshoe on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. One of the best. One of the best. Hey, Mrs. PTP. Anything I don't have to cook, that's exactly right. But yeah, prime rib is my one of my best ones. I love prime rib. Pam Day, thank you for the cookie. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of just run it over the heat a little bit. I love prime rib. Yeah. Can't remember the last time we really had prime rib of that caliber. Had steak not too long ago. Small steaks. They're called the little baseball steaks. But which were okay, but not anything compared to a prime rib. Yep. And I think my second favorite steak, and me and Mrs. PTP were just talking about this not too long ago. I think when we were driving up on Tuesday, we were talking about chicken fried steak, which is, I don't know if you really call that a steak or not, but it's like steak that's pounded into oblivion and breaded with, chicken fried steak. That's another one of my favorite things. Hey, what's up, Randy? Any steak is good if cooked properly. Microwave on medium high for 10 minutes per pound. Perfect medium gray every time. I'm not really a medium type of person. I'd rather have my steak rare. Charred on the outside and just rare on the inside. Just enough to get that charred taste on the outside. To set off whatever spices are in there or put on there, or the salt and the pepper. And then on the inside, it's just blood raw red meat. And I don't give a shit. 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 shits. What anybody says. Human beings were made to eat meat. Otherwise, if we were only made to eat vegetables, like these virgins, the virgins? What the fuck are those people called who eat the fucking rabbit food? The vegetabilitarians. God wouldn't have gave us big sharp teeth to rip through vegetables. Sorry. We were designed to eat meat. I don't care what anybody says. Eat beef tartare. That isn't cooked at all. Yeah, we've eaten that before. If you get a decent piece of Wagyu steak, you don't have to. All you have to do is just 30 seconds on each side, and sometimes if that, and then you could eat it raw. I've done it. Mrs. PTP can vouch for that. We went to a restaurant. It was an all-you-can-eat. I don't know what the hell it was. That was a long time ago. It was in the strip mall where the sex shop was. She knows exactly where I'm talking about. That was a long time ago. But they had the Wagyu beef that you didn't even have to cook. You could just pick up the fucking meat and eat it. It was so good. Um, tell us how you met your Wonder Wife. um, vegetarian is an Indian word for bad hunter. There you go. How I met my Wonder Wife. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Smokey Randy remembers. I met my Wonder Wife on MySpace. Um, what's up, Smart Poker? Yeah, when MySpace was a thing, um, I was in the middle of a divorce, and my kids came to see me, and my ex came with them, and they both decided instead of staying with me, two of my kids decided to go with their mother. So at that time, we just got rid of the house in Vegas. I just moved back to here, to California, and she was still living in Vegas. So two of my oldest decided to go live with her in Las Vegas, and I was very upset about that because I had the rest of my kids living with me, but the two oldest ones wanted to go with her. So I was upset. They left. I got upset. So I went on to MySpace, and because all my kids had the MySpace accounts, and I just said, very bad day, sad day, this, that, and the other thing. And she responded to me on MySpace and said, what's the matter? Why are you sad? And we started talking back and forth and stuff like that. And after a while, we realized how close we lived together. I lived in one city and she lived in the next city over, maybe 10 minutes away from each other. And I think it was after about a month or so of talking on the phone and emailing each other back and forth and all that stuff, we decided to go out on a date to Starbucks. And it's history from there. That's right, Smokey Randy. Pretty much. That's exactly how it went. I was crying online and Mrs. PTP felt sorry for me. That's exactly how it happened. I was just trying to make myself look less pussyish. But that's exactly how it happened. But yeah, that's about correct. So that's the story of me and Mrs. PTP. And then after that, we dated for, I don't know, about a year, maybe. And then that's when we decided to move in with each other, and everything's history from there. Once Mrs. PTP figured out I can cook, yeah, she didn't let me go nowhere. She just didn't. No, I wasn't going anywhere. I was locked in. And I made some weird dishes that she's never even heard of before. That yeah. Anyway, it's always fun. What else do you want to know? What my favorite steak is and where I met my wife at? Ow. Why does it keep doing? I got to do something about this. Ay, ay, ay. I will forget what you said. I'll ask again in a few days. Okay. Opening a can of Vienna sausages is hardly cooking. Well, you know what, Smokey Randy, if you use the Vienna sausages in the right way, they're very tasty, very, very tasty. So, now actually, a Vienna sausage is either you love it or you hate it. Mrs. PTP absolutely can't stand Vienna sausages. I absolutely love Vienna sausages. So, once again, that's it's a thing. But I don't know if she's still in the chat or not. But you can ask her if I can cook. Um, I can cook, and I don't cook out of a can. When I make food from scratch. Um, but you know, I may be eating Vienna sausages while I'm cooking, but it depends on what I'm cooking. I can cook. My mom was. I mean, I'm Italian. I grew up cooking. Oh, that's funny, Randy. Yeah, you can use Vienna sausages as bait. Maybe try and catch a catfish or something. That's a good one. That's a funny one. Ay, ay, ay. You know what? That's something that me and Mrs. P haven't done in a long time. Mrs. PTP haven't done in a long time. No, I'm not a nudist cook. Not by no, never. You kidding me? You splashed your oil on some private parts, that'll kill you. Um, if I could, I would lay my own eggs. Rabbit eggs. What does it say? Yes, definitely shout out to our friends from Vienna. Um, absolutely. No, I actually really enjoy. Um, I enjoy like if I make Chinese food, right? If I'm gonna make Chinese food, like, and it hasn't been in a long time, so I'm not gonna say I've done it recently. I'm gonna say it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since I made Chinese food, um, because all the kids are gone, and it's just me and April in the house, and making huge quantities of food is just not a priority anymore. But if when I made like beef and broccoli or sweet and sour chicken, stuff like that, I would start from scratch, and I would, you know, um, deep fry the chicken and then bread it and then deep fry it, make my own sauce with the vegetables. Same thing with the beef and broccoli and the noodles, egg rolls by hand, stuff like that. Hot mustard, the whole 9 yards. Um, it's tiring, it's tedious, but it's fun to eat, and it's fun to sit down and enjoy what you do. Um, if you had to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what album would it be? The Eagles, Hotel California. That one. um, yeah, stir fry. I like doing stir fry. I like doing all that kind of stuff. No, they are not Smoky Randy. And as a matter of fact, it's funny you brought that up because a couple of weeks ago, me and April were at the Chinese buffet. I think I told you that. I told people this story. We were sitting there, and I'm like, what's funny? I said all the food that we have on our plates, Chinese people don't even eat. All the stuff that we're getting here, except for maybe the dim sum and some of the uh, pot stickers and things like that. Chinese people don't even eat this stuff. It's funny that you mentioned that, Randy, because we just had that conversation. Yeah, I know. I listen. I love listening to that particular album. They have such a great selection of songs that are just you could just listen to over and over and over and over again. It's like me watching the Lord of the Rings movies. I can watch them over and over and over and over and over again, and I never get bored of them. And I know sometimes it's a hard question because of all the music, but I can pretty much get down with the Eagles. I'm good with that. Hey, what's up, Oil Man? Good evening. How you doing? Put me on a desert island with one record player, no power, food, or water. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, Randy's absolutely correct. There's very few Chinese restaurants uh, that actually make food that people in China eat, which is it's the Americanized version of Chinese food, I guess. Best find that I ever had at a yard sale or a state sale. You mean monetarily wise or item wise? Um, because there's a difference. In my opinion, there's a difference. Because remember, I'm a collector. So if you're talking about the best thing that I found at an estate sale, monetarily wise for us, or something I found at a yard sale that was something I wanted, you got to differentiate between that. Either. Okay. I think one of the best monetary finds that we ever had was the Campbell Soup collection that we bought from in a yard sale. Basically, we bought the yard sale and then everything in the house, which was a Campbell Soup collection. Which, I mean, it was years ago, and we're still selling stuff from that every now and then. Monetarily, that was the best thing we've ever bought at a yard sale. Personally, I think the best things I ever found at a yard sale were the two brand new in the box watches, Invicta watches that I bought at the yard sale for $10 a piece. A yard sale right up the street here, as a matter of fact, maybe 4 or 5 houses down. That I think I turned around and sold for like $300 a piece. Maybe $300 for both of them. But I didn't keep them in my collection because one I already had a duplicate of, and the other one was one of those big, oversized, huge, bling bling ones. I don't like those. So personally, the watches were mine, but for the business was the Campbell Soup collection. Oh, that's cool. Your mom does estate sales. That's really cool. I see a good breakfast in my future. Oh my God. Oil man. That's cool. Chinese eat chicken bones and those buried egg things, like the black eggs. I've seen them, but I wouldn't go near them. I wouldn't go near those. Those are those duck eggs, DeKalb, that they keep in a barrel for 100 years. I don't know how people eat that shit, but yeah, I've seen that. Hey, what's up, Mo Phillips? Can you send me some Jack in the Box? I missed that. And I don't know if we have Douglas Burger. Jack in the Box, I know. Yeah, one of the times we went to yard when we were going yard sailing is when I found the original 1978 Casio. I think when Randy and I were talking about watches last Friday, I showed the Casio calculator watch. I found that at a yard sale, and that was many years ago. And I took it and I had it had the battery changed in it, and it worked perfectly fine. And it's sitting in one of those boxes back there. And it's cool when you're a collector of something and you find that something in that collection that you pay $1 for. Hell yeah, that's a high. It always is. Yeah, the 1,000-year-old eggs, they're horrible. I don't even know how people can eat something like that. Where they put them in those jars, and then they put clay around the top so no air gets in, and they just like ferment for 50 years, and the shell becomes infused with the egg. That's just disgusting. And you can see them; they just pop them in their mouth, and they. Ugh. Yeah, I think we talked about that. I don't think we have them anymore. We did have Pac-Man watches, but we sold them a long time ago. Because I remember buying an entire bunch of Disney watches and digital watches from a yard sale that we sold in our online store many years ago. I don't know if Mrs. PTP still has any. Maybe I'll ask her and see, because I remember answering this question last week or the week before, but like those kind of digital watches, I don't collect those types of watches. I have one Disney watch, a Mickey Mouse watch that actually came from Disneyland. Oh, thank you, DeCobb. Appreciate that. Thanks for the can. But those types of watches, those like Disney watches, um, video game watches that come from like sending in box tops from cereal and things like that. Believe it or not, they command a pretty hefty price on online for collectors if you collect that type of watch. I never collected that type of watch. The Disney watch I have is a Timex, and I bought it at Disneyland. Well, it wasn't Disneyland. It was of course it was Disneyland, but it was they call it Downtown Disney. It's before you get into the park. They have like restaurants and shops and things like that. I bought it there. But yeah, we buy them, but we sell them. Everything in those boxes that I have for watches, I wear. I'll pull out a box and I'll pick a watch out and I'll wear it for the day. Almost everything is set to the correct time. That's what I've been trying to do the last week is I pull them out and I set them to the correct time. And it's not like I can really see it, but I look at it but yeah, no. We've had watches we bought that were Transformers, that look like Optimus Prime, and then you could lift up the thing and the time was underneath, that type of stuff. Yeah, that would be really nice, Oil Man. I would actually love a Rolex Presidential. Those are beautiful watches. Oh my God, did you really do that again, Oil Man? I thought you were kidding. Mrs. PTP just said thank you for the breakfast. And we can ask Mrs. PTP, do we still have any of those old Disney watches and the video game watches that, if you remember, years ago we bought a whole shit ton of them at a yard sale, and I don't know if you put them all online and sold them or not, because I remember seeing Pac-Man. We had a Galaga one. I just don't remember if we sold them or if we still have them or not. Man, Oil Man, we love you too, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, if anybody feels like they need to send me a watch that they're not using anymore, I'd be more than happy to throw it in the box back here. I don't care what it is. It could be a $10 digital watch. It could be a presidential Rolex. I will never sell it. I will keep it right back here, and it will be in my private collection, working or not, doesn't matter. Um, that's the problem with collections. You never really want to sell them ever. I'm pretty sure you sold them all too. Um, I remember, going through a whole ton of those things and changing the batteries and fixing watch bands and doing all that stuff so you can sell them. That was when my eyeballs were good and you can see those little screws and stuff. But I don't know if you heard Black Mamba asked what was one of our best yard sale or estate sale finds. And I said that the Campbell Soup collection monetarily was probably our best one ever. I'm sure you'll agree with that. I'll tell you what one of the worst ones were. And I suggest this to anybody who goes out yard sailing or thrift storing or estate sailing. Don't ever buy anything from the 1994 Los Angeles Olympics. Ever. Because it is worthless garbage. I need to get rid of 2 desktops and 2 laptops. Oops, I didn't read that. Hold on a second. What's up, Ranger Billy? Two desktops. Purple Pixie, if they don't work, just Google electronic recycling centers in your area. They'll take that crap. Who had the Twist Flex? That would be Timex. I remember my dad's watch had that Twist Flex band that you just kind of stretched out and rolled over your arm. Oil Man, my dad's watch, which I still have, it's down in the bedroom. It's either down in the bedroom or it's in the safe somewhere. I don't know where it is. But my dad's watch was an old Timex with the stretch flex band on it. Yeah. And if you don't do it right, it pinches your wrist. Hurts like hell. Man. Uh-oh, not drama outside. What's up, impeach them all? Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Most of the Timex watches I have, I'm trying to find, are the Timex Expedition, which is a digital watch, the Explorer, which is a digital watch. I have my dad's watch, which is a regular face analog watch, which is a Timex. I have a couple of Timexes that are, how do you say, they're just regular analog Timex watches. One's black and gold with a silicone band. One's black and silver with a leather strap. That kind of stuff like that. Hello, Daily Insanity. Only drama here is the wet kind of falling on the tin roof of my pole barn. Yeah, we don't have no drama here. I happen to like digital watches. I prefer digital watches over analog watches, unless it's a specific kind of analog watch. Like I like the Invicta brands. I like the Olivas brand, which is really nice. Um, I like Omegas. Yeah, I love Omegas, but um, which Omega makes a really nice watch. And depending on, you can go from a $10,000 Omega to a $200 Omega and everything in between. Intolerant leftist. Thank you for the can. How do you know what's valuable? Valuable to buy, to resell? General guidelines, or do you search online when you see some? That's a great question because, hey, Trick Pony. Uh, a lot of the times when we used to go out yard selling and estate selling, um, we have how do you say, we have a general knowledge of what is valuable and what's not by doing research online, looking at other people's stores, just generally cruising the websites for what's popular, what's not. You do that during the week. What kind of appliance is selling good, or what kind of collectible is selling good, or so on and so forth. And you do that during the week while you have nothing to do. You just kind of, just looking around on the internet. And then when you go out on the weekend to the estate sales or the yard sales, you have a general idea of what's selling and what's not. And then some things that people are just going to want to buy because they're popular or whatever. Things like DVDs or CDs or things like that. Some sorts of VHS tapes. Reel-to-reel, any kind of media is usually a very popular thing. So, I mean, it depends. If you're in that business, it depends on what your specialty is and how you are going to try and find it, whether it's at an estate sale, a yard sale, a thrift store, online at another marketplace, so on and so forth. So the price people pay for Pokemon cards is ridiculous. I never had that on my investment bingo card. Randy, anything can be priced ridiculous. Pogs. I don't know if any of you guys remember Pogs or not. They used to be very popular in the 80s and early 90s. You wouldn't believe that those little cardboard discs with those tinfoil things on it, that somebody would pay $30 or $40 or $50 for one. Or a Pokemon card that could be worth $1 million. This one guy in Saudi Arabia, this one oil sheik or whatever, has a Pokemon card that's worth $100 million. It's one of one original, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what, but he has it in a safe, and it's worth he paid $100 million for a Pokemon card. So you never know what is going to pique people's interest. But the problem with that is, and here's the problem with that, is that the interest can go from here to here in a week or less sometimes. And then you have a whole bunch of stuff that you bought at the peak, and then now nobody wants it a week later. So it's a risky business. It's a risky game to play. But if you do everything in moderation, you should be successful. At one time, Ranger Billy, people were paying tons of money for old Atari games, Sega, GameCube, Intellivision. All used to be very popular. People were paying big money for that stuff. Now, nope. Just a few years later, nope. Because I know we have a complete Atari system with the games, like maybe 100 games and everything, and nobody's interested in it. I'm talking about the original Atari 2600. Yeah, that was a good one, Secondhand Pete. I have a whole set of Garbage Pail Kids. I used to collect them. Oil Man, those are actually still worth money. Um, I hope you have them sleeved up. What I mean by that is put into plastic sleeves. Um, Try not to bend the corners and stuff like that, because Garbage Pail Kid cards are worth money, especially specific ones. And I'm not an expert on it by any means, but um, they're still worth money. You should protect those. I'm still waiting for my phone ringtones to take off. I invested 10 grand in them during the late 90s. 99 cents. That's a good one, Randy. Um, Rather buy a Mona Lisa. Um, you know, not for nothing, Jason, but one of the biggest ways to get onto the FBI radar and the and Scotland Yard and all of those people's radars is art. Believe it or not, art is one of the biggest ways to launder money in the world, and that's true. That little cartoon you put up there about the Mona Lisa. People who buy art for hundreds of millions of dollars. Um, Remember, there's no tax on luxury stuff in a lot of countries, so they have to buy stuff in order to transfer money from one place to another. It's a great way to get on the radar to people. And could be maybe that's the reason why Hunter Biden chose to do artwork. I don't know. Who is Art? It's the guy hanging up on the wall over there. Hmm. Being in the business of buying and selling is not what it is on TV. Um, it's just not what it is on TV. It's a difficult thing to do, especially if you sell your stuff that you buy at swap meets and things like that, where people go out and look for collectibles. It's a lot of work. It's very tiring. It's very costly, and you have to make up your money to make a profit after paying for insurance, tents and space slots and this, that, and the other thing. It's just not for everybody to do. You really have to love that kind of business to do it. And I think all those American pickers and storage wars, a lot of people went out and wasted their life savings on storage lockers that they bought because they thought they were going to find gold and silver and diamonds and guns, and which very rarely ever happens. Yeah, TV is not reality, Mo Phillips. Sorry to burst your bubble. Um, now because of those Occupy Wall Street people, not Occupy Wall Street, the oil people, the ones that stop the oil people, basically. Most of the artwork in museums in Europe now are being replaced with replicas. Um, and they're hanging replicas in there. I read this story about a month ago, um, because they don't want to put up the real artwork in case the glass breaks or the plastic cracks or somebody does something stupid to one of the paintings, that's a priceless painting in the Louvre or something like that. So they're replacing them with replicas. So when you go and look at all these paintings, they're probably not real. Just like when you go to Philadelphia and look at the not Philadelphia, it used to be in Philadelphia, the National Archives, and you look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and all that stuff, those are all replicas. They're not real. You're not looking at the real Constitution that was signed, by the founding fathers. You're looking at replicas because nowadays you can't trust anybody not to try and destroy it one way or another, even though they're in impenetrable cases. It's a fucking shame too, because I remember I went to Pennsylvania when I was little, and I remember going into the Independence Hall, looking at the Declaration of Independence, the Liberty Bell, did the whole Betsy Ross thing, and and over the years that people just got stupid, and now you can't really see the original documents or the original paintings or anything original. No, archives. Yeah, the archives. I bought at a yard sale. Matter of fact, it's in my living room and it's framed because I had it hanging on the wall at one time, but it's still sitting there behind the couch. A copy of the Declaration of Independence, the original size that was purchased at the National Archives. I bought it at a yard sale for $1. Somebody went there on a field trip or whatever, bought it, and then they put it out on a yard sale table when I bought it for $1. And I happened to have a frame that was the size of that. It was big. It was huge. From a bunch of pictures that we bought it from an estate sale. We bought the whole estate sale. And I framed it. And I hung it up on my wall as Declaration of Independence. It was pretty cool for a while. Then we took it down. Mo Phillips, I don't know what you're talking about, the art guys. What are you talking about? Bam Mom says maybe they were fake to begin with. That could be true too. That could be very true. I have a painting of Roger Rabbit. Not sure who framed it though. That's a good one. First day of winter today. I suppose I should start complaining about the cold. Yeah, you probably should. Get it done early and get it out of the way. Complaining about the cold. This way you don't have to worry too much later on. I believe tomorrow it's going to be pretty damn cold here. It's supposed to be 73 tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty damn cold, actually. I have to break out the extra comforters. I was making funny when I misheard you say National Archives, but my ear heard National. Oh, I got you. Okay. I thought I missed something about art guys. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah. What time is it? 19. I can't even see this damn thing. Okay, next subject. 1913. That was a shitty year. I think everybody needs more rum. Hold on. Oh my God. That coffee is giving me some serious heartburn here. Can we do a telethon to send me rum? That'd be great. It's okay though, because I mean, I'm going to get a Rolex in the mail, which is pretty cool. Maybe we can do a telethon for some alcohol. Who knows? I see a big off you to all the years Woodrow Wilson was in office. Yeah. I got what you said there, Mo. Pretty much, I understood that. I'm telling you, I got to take my dinner pills. Okay, so give me another subject to talk about. Why are my Friday pills gone? Did I take my... That's because that's breakfast. There's dinner. Stupid. Come on. Oops. What happened to Black Mamba? She had some good questions going there. Oh, she's outside dealing with the drama. That's right. I have some cube steaks to throw in the air fryer later. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, we got to find a place that has a good prime rib. Hey, Mrs. PTP, if you're still here, maybe we can go to Lucille's. Maybe they have prime rib. I never thought of that. It'd probably be like $800, but shit, it's prime rib. Novax is off to the rum store. Need more rum. Yep. Only 2 more months of antibiotics. Yeah. Next month or tomorrow is June, right? June and then July. The end of July. And I'll be off of a pill, hopefully. 1 out of 37. Okay. Metal. What kind of metal? Or Pete must pee in serious technicolor. No, not really, because none of the pills make me change any colors. I'm surprised too that it doesn't, but it never has. And the key to that is drinking a lot of fluids. You got to drink a lot of fluids. Jewel gifted a phone. Here's a contribution for your prime rib. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, over at the town center, there's a place called Lucille's. It's a like a barbecue restaurant. Usually when we go there, we usually get like either the sampler platters that have like spare ribs and tri-tip and like smoked sausage and things like that, or something similar to that, where you have like an array of different meats um, that you can you taste, and it's usually pretty filling. They give you these huge mason jars full of your drink. But I've never ordered like a prime rib or a steak from that place. It's always, and they have them, but it's always been, you go there for the barbecue. And everything's cooked on an open grill or smoked in a smoker right there in the back of the restaurant or inside the restaurant. So maybe this weekend, maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll call them and see if they have it before we go chug down there. Well, no, it doesn't matter because I got to go to Walmart. It's just across the street from there. But thank you so much for the phone. See, now I'm in the mood for prime rib. Yes, Nova X, the Long Beach Town Center. It's right there by the 605. That's exactly right. Or there's another one up by the 91 freeway. I can't remember the name of that place. I forgot the name of it. But it's right next to where the Golden Corral buffet is. It's right in the same, almost in the same parking lot. But that's a steakhouse also. And the last time that I ate at that one was probably 20 years ago. It had to be at least 20 years ago. And I ate it in a different city. It wasn't that one over there. They have 3 locations, and I ate it in a different location. Spaz gifted a fleet. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. What is the name of that place? Chris and Pitt. Damn, Nova X. Thank you so much, Chris and Pitts. That's exactly right. They had one in Downey. They have one in Long Beach, up by where the beach is. It used to be there. And then they have one all the way by the 91 and Bellflower, where the Golden Corral is. Yeah. On Artesia. Yeah. That's exactly right. You must live close to me. Or used to live close to me. But yeah, it's Chris and Pitts. That would have bugged the shit out of me until I got off the live stream and called April and asked her. Chris and Pitts, yep. Years and years ago, Chris and Pitts used to be an outstanding restaurant to eat at. They had huge portions of anything you ordered. They had huge portions. And there was always a line and a wait to get in. Like I said, I haven't eaten there in about 20 years. And I'm sure it's probably hella expensive now. But yeah, Chris and Pitts. That was always a good place. Man, thank you guys for all the gold pills. Friggin' Nova X knows more about where I live than I do. That's funny as hell. And I can't think of another good steakhouse. I would say like Black Angus would be a good steakhouse, but they're like a line cook steakhouse. You know, I never really liked Black Angus very much. They're really expensive and their portions aren't that great. Not saying that the food's not good. It's just not my type of steakhouse. Beach Memorial. I lived in Bellflower and Lakewood and even worked in Long Beach. Okay, so yeah, you know my area. Yeah, that's my grounds right there. Bellflower, Lakewood, and Long Beach. That's, yeah. the Bellflower, Lakewood, Long Beach. Oh, Northwoods Inn. That's been gone for a long time. But that was another one. And believe it or not, there was a restaurant called Stacks. Staxx, just like Stacks in the chat here. That was a kind of like a mom and pop diner style restaurant. That used to be up by the 5 freeway off of Rosecrans. I think off of or as my dad used to say, Rosecrans. But they had really good steaks, really good chicken fried steak. Their breakfasts were huge, but they went out of business a long time ago. Yeah, Northwoods Inn was another place, but those places didn't survive for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, you think with the amount of food that they gave you and the prices that they charged, people would, want to keep those types of places around, but didn't work out that way. Oh, Moffitt's, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know Moffitt's. I think we've eaten there once before, a long time ago. They're not around either. At least not around this area anymore. Yeah. I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a taqueria right now. That whole area where Moffitt's used to be, they used to have like a Taco Bell, and a lot of those little types of fast food restaurants. They've all been taken over by Mexican restaurants. Let's put it that way. Little small mom and pop Mexican restaurants, which is not a bad thing, but I'm just saying a lot of the old school stuff that used to be in this area is gone now. And they had some good chicken too. I don't know if it was poor management, Mo. I think it was just changing times. A lot of people didn't want to eat at those mom and pop places anymore. They liked the chain restaurants like Denny's and places like that. Like Marie Callender's was another great little restaurant to eat at. And there are still some around, but not like they used to be. Not like they used to be. Oh, shut up, Oil Man. I want a Crave case. I still don't know why the hell they don't have White Castle out here. I just don't understand that. For as many crackheads as California has, White Castle hamburgers would be like exploding out here. People be buying Crave cases, in the middle of the night because they're all doped up on fentanyl and crack. I'm telling you. Anyway, well, you enjoy your hamburgers there, Mr. Oil Man. Making me hungry now. There's a place in it's on Carson, past Bellflower. I don't know exactly where it is, what other side street it's on there, called the Heritage Restaurant. And that's kind of like a mom and pop diner style restaurant. And they have huge portions there too. Really good fried chicken, really good burritos, really good chicken fried steak, steak and eggs, ham ham steak and eggs, a big old piece of ham steak and eggs. Their breakfasts are huge. Um, you pay a good price for it, but you don't leave hungry, and you leave mostly with leftovers. Huge onion rings, huge zucchinis, breaded zucchinis like for appetizers and stuff, called the Heritage. And at one time, the Heritage was a shithole. It was, I mean, I remember eating at that place a long time ago, and it was like bad. And then we tried it once recently. When I first got diagnosed with this stuff, we stopped there to eat because it was late at night, and the food was fantastic. So they must have changed owners or something. But I still like White Castle hamburgers, Nova X. Love White Castle hamburgers. I think the original Denny's on Carson and Paramount, now a family place. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then there's the original Bob's Big Boy. I believe it's right on the border of Southgate and Downey. That's still there. They tried to tear that down, but it was a historical landmark. That's still there. I used to go to car shows there in high school. And then the original McDonald's in Downey, right there at the 5 freeway in Lakewood, that's still there. Which is the only McDonald's in the country that still fries their apple pies. Instead of putting them in the heater and baking them, they still deep fry the apple pies. And I don't know if you remember, or anybody remembers, when you go to McDonald's, they used to deep fry the apple pies, and it would blister the top and be all flaky and hot and warm inside. They still do that at the original McDonald's. That's right next to the Pep Boys, where I grew up getting car parts from when I lived in Downey. Oh, your dad still lives in Downey? Really? Where at? What cross streets? That's pretty cool. Yeah, we moved to Downey in 1984. My mom bought a house here after my dad passed, and we lived here since 1984. Yep. Oh yeah, they expanded on the little museum that they have there. I saw it online. They have a little McDonald's museum attached to the McDonald's there. They put another little wing on it with more memorabilia. Um, Now, see, I got you, Oil Man. You now want an apple pie, and I want some White Castle. So I'm just saying, I can go get an apple pie, but you can't. Yeah, the Mrs. PTP's boyfriend, um, Jim, there, they live in Downey, so that's where she goes to work every day in Downey. My mom, like I said, we lived in Downey for 40 some odd years. I lived with my mom off and on my whole life. So, um, oh shit, yeah. Old River and Burns. I know exactly where that's at. I know exactly where that's at. One of my high school friends, Marcus, his dad had a house on Burns, off of Old River School Road. But it was closer to Old River School. Like you turned on Old River School Road. You went down to the first street. Burns was the second street over, and boom, it was right there on the corner. Wow, that's a trip. I know exactly where you're talking about. Spent a lot of time in high school at my friend's house over there. And he probably bought the house over there when it was like $12,000, because that area right now, are those houses over there are multi-million dollar houses in North Downey. They're hugely expensive. Another thing that happened to old school Hostess pies with the cardboard boxes in the package. Like these? You mean like these, Oil Man? Mrs. PTP buys these for me because I love them. They're not the Hostess brand, but they're in the box. This is a blackberry pie. I got blackberry and lemon and cherry, and these ones right here, this brand, whatever it is, taste 10 times better than the Hostess ones. Hello, Mayor. How you doing? Hostess was bought out by Bimbo. Well, actually, Hostess went out of business. And then Bimbo, which is a Mexican company, a company in Mexico, bought Hostess, and then they started making the Hostess line again. The pies, the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, and then everything tasted like the Mexican stuff. None of the Hostess stuff tastes the same. So those no-name brand pies in the box taste way better than the Hostess ones. And I've tried them because I love those things. I'll have, when I have my lunch, if I want something sweet or whatever, I'll eat a pie. Yeah. No, Randy, it's a little, they call them because it looks like a little pie thing. It's not a pie like a pie. It's I mean, it's nothing. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. For fuck's sake. It's just something that we like to eat here. We don't fill our pies with kangaroo or panda meat. I don't know what you guys are doing over there in Australia. Yeah, but everything that's Hostess, to me, tastes like Bimbo. Yeah, I just, except for the snowballs. You really can't mess up a snowball because it's just coconut and marshmallow. I mean, you can't really fuck that up. But the snowballs and the ding dongs are pretty decent. To me, everything else tastes like a Mexican pastry. Yeah, I know pies are round. It's no big deal. That's what we call them here. An apple pie, blackberry pie. It's a piece of pie. When you cut a pie, is it round or is it a triangle? And at that time, does it become not a piece of pie, or it just becomes a piece of what? I mean, you're not eating the whole pie to keep it round. And when you take a bite out of a round pie, is it still round? I mean, come on. Oh, that's another thing. No, I love the Nutty Buddies. You keep them in the freezer. Oh, those are good. Those are so good. Whenever I ask Mrs. PTP, do you have something sweet? She'll come up most of the time with Nutter Butters, Nutter Buddies, or whatever they are. Even if they're the no-name brands or the name brands, doesn't matter. Because she loves them. I love them. And she keeps them in the freezer, and they're always cold and crispy and Yes, a triangle pie from a round pie in a circle box. It's a square box with a obtusional thing, and it's shoved in there, and then we sell them here in America. But we're not sure what kind of pie it is. It's not pie anymore. It's literally a obtusional rectangular triangular thing that fits in a rectangular thing. I hope that clears it up for you, Randy. Yeah, Nova X, everything that has to do with those like ding dongs, Nutter Butters, um, any of that stuff, always put it in the freezer. Keep it as cold as possible because when you take it out, you eat it right away, and it tastes so much better than when it's like room temperature. I love that stuff. And Little Debbie's, I remember you used to be able to buy a box of Little Debbie's for 99 cents. Now the Little Debbie's are, $3 and $4 a box, depending on what you get. It's ridiculous. They used to be the cheapest thing. In the freezer right next to the Girl Scout. Oh, Thin Mints. Yeah, I don't buy Girl Scout cookies. That's April's department. Um, and she's very, very, very greedy with them. She's very greedy with the Girl Scout cookies. But yeah, Thin Mints and those peanut butter ones, whatever those ones are. What is a pizza pie? I'm still confused. Basically, if you're saying pizza pie, you're saying pie, because pizza in Italian is a pie. It means pie. So if you either going to say it's a pizza or it's a pie, but if you say pizza pie, you're repeating the same word twice in two different languages. So, you didn't think I know that, huh, Randy? Huh? Anyway, we put that watch away for another day. In New York, they often call pizza a pizza pie. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, right? A lot of people do, because not a lot of people know that that's what it means in Italian. A lot of people don't understand or speak Italian. So they just say a pizza pie. Uh, what does that say? Kind of like when people call ATM machines. That's true. A automatic teller machine. It's an ATM machine. Or everything's a Xerox. Or everything's a Kleenex. That's just American, the American vernacular. If you make a photocopy, it's a Xerox. Even though Xerox is the name of the company, it's not the actual photocopy. But, I mean, I don't wear a watch, but I do have that on my ankle for a few months. That's not a watch. That's an ankle monitor. That's not a good thing. Yeah, Mo Phillips, we are the laziest country with language because we can have different interpretations from state to state to state to state. It's the dialect and everything that's so different, from the north to the south to the east to the west, especially with accents. It's we are a lazy country when it comes to that. No, Nova, it's not a watch. They should have told you that when they strapped it to your ankle and you couldn't take it off. Let's say, remember? Oh, the Ditto machine. Yeah, you used to sit there and say, You used to smell those chemicals. Yeah, the Ditto machine. I remember that. Yeah, we're old. That was even before the Xerox, before the Xerox machines and the overhead projectors. Remember when they first came out with dry erase board markers and Sharpies, where you used to go, you used to smell the alcohol in the big thick Sharpie dry erase markers or permanent markers. You used to get high. Smokey Randy, most Americans say aluminum. I'm going to say all Americans say aluminum. Aluminium is the proper pronunciation of it because there is an I in it. It's aluminium. But yeah, that's lazy. By just saying aluminum, you're Americanizing that word. But who wants to say aluminium? Aluminum's easier. We are an old bunch of dusty farts. I will agree with that 100%. Remember rubber cement? Oh, hell yeah. Rubber cement used to have that kind of wedged rubber tip on it with the line in it. Yeah. Used to squeeze it just enough to smell it. I remember that. I don't know why. Maybe that's why my brain is so fogged up now. I used to sniff a lot of things in school. You know? We started sniffing markers, glue, pieces of paper with deadly chemicals on it. Who the hell knew what we were eating for lunch? What the hell that was made out of? We have no idea. And if we were still hungry, we would go scrape some paint chips off the door. Yeah, we were an indestructible generation, pretty much. I had a friend. I had a friend who used to sniff model plane glue. It wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing. Let me tell you, he was not the smartest cookie. That was when you can buy model glue without having to be 18. Did you eat the paste glue in kindergarten? I don't remember, Mike. I don't remember kindergarten. I possibly could have because I was a fat kid. So it's very possible. Australian people are badasses. Everything in nature can kill them. Snakes, bugs, jellyfish, everything. Australians are badasses. New Australians got a problem. Yeah, Tester's glue. That's exactly right. You used to be able to buy Tester's glue in the 4-pack. Right? They used to have four tubes of glue. And him and his brother, not so much, but every time we used to go out, hang out, bullshit or whatever, he always had that fucking bag in his pocket. And he would sit there like on the stoop and he would go, and he was like 13 years old, 14 years old we were at that time. Just fucking sniffing glue. I mean, it's like, I never did that shit. But I think that's the reason why they say you have to be 18 or older to buy it now, is because too many people were abusing it. Yeah, that's the chunky paste, which of course was non-toxic. Now it's non-toxic. You can eat anything now, because they've bulletproofed the entire world. I sniffed other things. I show mine. You show me the back. Show me back in second grade. Yeah. Let's go behind the bleachers. I got something to show you. That's pretty funny. Okay. I think maybe another 10 minutes and I'll end the show. Go get something to eat. Go lay down and relax. Anybody remember Rush? You used to sniff it? No. I don't know what that is. Rush? Never heard of that one. What the heck? I don't know. I don't want to know either, Mo Phillips. Just huffed some epoxy on the toilet 5 minutes ago. Holy shit. That's right, Black Mamba. We're Gen X. We can survive anything. That's so true. We can survive anything. Oh, hell yes. This is way better than politics. We're having a good time here. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, this will be my regular Friday night show, is just hanging out and bullshitting, which I enjoy greatly. You know, people used to they would buy spray paint, and they used to spray paint into a bag, and the fumes of the spray paint would be like the glue fumes, and then you can always tell because, you know, they would get paint on one side of the bag and they would have paint on their nose or their chin or on the sides, you know, from doing this. You always know who are the huffers. Please do a Gen X show next week. Gee, I can do that. Talk about stuff from Gen X. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Black Betty song by Ram. One Hit Wonder. Yeah. You know, it's not that Gen X is the toughest generation. We're just the generation that didn't put up with a whole lot of shit. We don't put up with a whole lot of shit. Like these new modern people. We weren't helicoptered. But absolutely, we'll do next week. We'll do a Gen X. Talk about all our Gen X experiences growing up as children. I think that'd be a fun show, Black Mama. Thank you for this suggestion. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, Mayor, believe it or not, I mean, all the chemicals in all of the stuff has changed over the years because people would take spray paint, glue, you name it, brake fluid, doesn't matter what it was, and they would spray it into a paper bag and then huff it so it would get them high. There's a thing called whippets where they used to, you shoot it in there and you get high. Nitrous oxide, you used to sniff that and get high. I mean, they got to change all that shit because a dumbass is getting high off of it. I enjoy it when you talk about old stuff, toys and such. Yeah, me too. Yeah. So next week when we talk about the Gen X stuff, we can talk about the toys that we used to play with, the big wheels and the green machines, the Huffy bikes, the Schwinns with the shifter in the middle, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about all that shit next week. We'll have a good time. We will have a good time. Yeah, we are the last of a sane world. When people hear that our parents used to lock us out of the house, or they said, you know what, go out and play and don't come back until the street lights come on. This generation thinks that's a bad thing, that was a bad thing. Drinking out of the water hose or whatever, they think that was a bad thing. Long as you were the third person drinking out of the water hose and you didn't get that blast of hot water in your mouth, everything was cool. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that, because I've done that on many occasions where you turn the hose on, you're so thirsty, you turn the hose on and you put it up to your face and that big hot water gets into your mouth and you're like, ah. So you guys know about that. You got to be the third person drinking so the water's cold. All right, guys, I'm going to end the show for tonight. I thoroughly had a great time talking to everybody. Thank you guys for being over on the X, the D Live, and the YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Make your way over to Pilled if you can. I don't know how long my YouTube channel is going to be on. It already got suspended once, so I have no idea. But Pilled is my home base. That's where all my peeps are. So do that. Tomorrow is what the hell day is tomorrow? Saturday. I probably do a show tomorrow because Mrs. PTP is working tomorrow, so I can probably do a show tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on how I feel, but yeah, we can do something. See what happens. So I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for all the pills, on all the love over there on Pilled, and great conversation, Nova X. Thank you for not letting me rack my brains about chrism pits. I appreciate that. It's nice to have somebody that knows the area when you're talking about stuff like that. So that was a real cool conversation. And thank you guys for the subscriptions, Foxy Lady. Appreciate that. Everybody have a great rest of your Friday night, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm just going to end the show. So until then, we'll talk to you all later. Love you guys. Black Mamba. Mwah. Thank you for looking out for me, sweetheart. Love you.